What it do, y'all? I almost forgot that I did not do this. I almost forgot. But this Saturday is 7:49. I just walked in from my day at work, going to the gym, training. I just went and got me a crab boil. And I'm about to eat that once I finish with this. That's why I'm doing this now, so I have it done and up for y'all. But shout out to y'all that joined myself, Movie Bay Legend, and January Flowers for our first episode of the podcast, Highly Controversial. If you didn't go watch it, go watch it. It's on my live section. Thumbs up the video. Drop a comment down below. Let us know y'all's thoughts. Show some love. We're going to be on Jan's page next week. So make sure to subscribe to her as well as to Movie Bay and Legend if you haven't already, because we're going to be bouncing from page to page, talking about just about everything going on in the world. Outside of just Zeus, we're going to talk about Zeus, of course, but there's other things. We just want to have a conversation, kickback, so go check that out. But today we are here for what, as you see in the title, Baddies Report Cards with me. I'm grading these women based off of how I feel about them right now. Right now, the whole cast, I done put them all in order from who I'm feeling to the least, from the least to the greatest. I've graded them off of their performance on the show. When I say performance, how they've been on the show, how they've been off the show. And it's strictly based off of this season. But yeah, if y'all are new here, please subscribe to the page. Please do that right now. It's free of charge. Just click that button. Turn the post notifications on all. Thumbs up the video. Drop a comment down below. Those of y'all that know. But if you don't, it helps so much. I'm on the road to 10K. We slowly but surely trucking along. But I'm done wasting my time talking about it. Let's go. Alright, so as you see, we have the cast right here. We're about to break down every single lady that is on this cast. Like I said, if you missed it, go back and watch it. But let's go. First up, I don't do the bullies. The bullies I do not do. And Roelly is not, she's disgusting. Like I said at the beginning of the season, she was tolerable, she was likable. But one thing about it, two things for sure. I will never like this woman. And she proved again as to why. And I told y'all that at the beginning of the season. Even when I said she was funny, she was likable, I always wrapped it up by saying I will never like her. And she proved it. She proved it a couple episodes ago, but she really proved it last Sunday. She is a disgusting human being. She is a bully. She's everything that you think of as an evil person. That is her. That is her. That's why her grade is an F. Because bullying, you never win with me. You get a flat F. She took advantage of Slim pretty much looking up to her. Regardless of what Slim has said about her, she still has love for Roelly. Roelly took advantage of that. I don't care if Slim is white, black, purple, pink. Wrong is wrong, right is right, and she was dead ass wrong. Yes, Slim was wrong for talking about her son, but this bitch talked about her deceased father first and foremost. And I frankly want her off the show. She'll never be off the show, which, sorry to break it to y'all that have been watching the show and been trying to do these petitions and stuff. If y'all didn't watch it the last season, you didn't already know. But yeah, she's gonna be here, unfortunately. I don't know what it's gonna take for them to get her off of the show, but it's not gonna be that petition. But she is the worst cast member for me this season. Right behind her is another bully. I found her to be one of my favorites this season at the beginning of the season because she was entertaining to a certain degree. But I always backed it up with saying I always understand why people find her annoying. And look at her. Like, she screams. She just gives off an annoying vibe. She's agitating. Like, she's like a gnat. She's like somebody that you sitting there thinking of that you just want to flick. You know how you flick a fly? That's what you want to do with her. She's a bully. She's desperate for camera time. Like, yes, she can be entertaining to a certain degree, but she does too much for camera time. Like her jumping in on that fight that Roelly and Slim was having just because she claimed that she don't like her because she talked about Slim talked about kids. That has nothing to do with you. And it's like, you could have been yourself and been the way you were at the beginning of the season, not really bother. I don't want to say she wasn't bothered. Yes, she was. She was bothering Jasmine. But if you just allowed other people to bring you the drama and you retaliate from that, the fans would have been okay with you. But then what she did online, just her as a person, the more she reveals herself, the more you realize you don't like her. The stuff that she does with her son, calling her son daddy, saying that he's fine, and then standing 10 toes on it, that's weirdo behavior. She's got an F for me. Yes, she has brought a lot of entertainment, I guess you can say, to the show, and she is a prime focal point in this season. We got to call a spade a spade. A bully does not get any good grades, and that's why she's got an F. We'll move to the next. Akbar. Akbar is here with a D- because she doesn't contribute to shit. Like, what has Akbar done this season that y'all can really think of? Like, when you think of Akbar on Baddies Midwest, what has she done that would make you think that she should deserve to be higher? She's barely there. Granted, she is a decent looking woman, but she thinks she's better than everybody. And if you think you're better than everybody, you shouldn't be here. And at this point, I feel like, especially considering this, and you're not even contributing to anything, you're not there, you're not moving along the show, what is the purpose in you being here? So that's why she got a D-. Also, same thing can be said about Jaden. Jaden is very boring. She's not really producing anything on the show outside of her and Biggie's situation, but Biggie's in the wrong when it comes to that, because Biggie's picking on her at this point. Granted, she low-key, in a way, kind of started and introduced this beef. Biggie is doing exactly what she was bitching and moaning about Jayla doing last season. Stretching it out. Dragging it out. It's like you can't play both sides. But Jaden, like I said, there's not really much to say. That's why I'm flying past her, really, too. You already know, D-. Next, we got Emma. Emma gets a D- because she came on the show trying to pop it like she was about to be somebody and be somebody that we remembered and is a focal point on the show, and she failed miserably. Once you realized that you wasn't going to get what you was wanting out of Scotty, you faded all the way to the background. Did nothing else. You came on the show calling her boring just for us to find out that you are equally as boring and probably more boring than Scotty. Scotty at least will get on there and start twerking. She'll at least interact with the girls to where you at least see her on the screen. Emma, we barely saw her in half the episodes. Barely saw her. The only time we saw her is what you see right here in Confessionals. That was it. Emma does not need to come back. She probably won't come back. So it's a strong D- for her as well. Tsiki. Y'all know, if y'all been watching me, Tsiki has been one of my favorites. Mainly because of her fighting skills. But Tsiki brings nothing to the show apart from that. Let's just keep it 1000% true. Because she could bring a level of level-headedness. She could use her strength and her power and her ability to kind of scare somebody to her advantage when she used it to actually defend other people that needed the defense, like Slim. In that instance, she would have been good to stop something. Use your voice. If not that, use them hands. That would have been a reason to use them. But Tsiki does nothing. She brings nothing to the show. She's barely on the show. She's always standing in the background saying stuff in the confessionals that she wouldn't say in... Well, I ain't gonna say she wouldn't say in real time, but she doesn't say in real time. Like, she'll say somebody's bullying somebody or whatever, and she just won't do it whenever it matters. Like, you're saying it in the confessionals, but you're not saying it whenever it could actually benefit and change something. But Tsiki needs to get off the show. She needs to get off the show because you're not really doing anything besides being on the reunion and fighting at the reunion. That's the only thing you're doing. So if that's the case, just be a special guest. Like, that's just really what it is. She serves no purpose on the show. None. This thing right here. I can't stand this thing right here. The reason why she got this high is because she actually has, quote-unquote, a storyline. Where she had one off of Jaden. She had one off... Now she has one off of Nunu that she created. But she's getting a D- because she's a punk. Like, I will never give a punk a high score. Like, she picks and chooses when she wants to fight. She picks and chooses when she wants to be tough. And that's with Jaden. And that's with Nunu. Because she thinks Nunu is too... Like, Nunu is small. When you compare Nunu to Biggie, obviously she's small. But she feels like she can get a one-up on Nunu whenever it's a one-on-one because she's bigger than her. And as y'all saw on Sunday with the show, when Nunu asked for that one and she said that she was going to give her that one, she thought Anna was going to be in there jumping with her. And when Anna said, I'm going to let y'all have that, she look at her face. She looked like she immediately regretted saying, let's get this one. Biggie is a loser. Biggie is boring to me. because I just don't find punks entertaining. And that's why she's at a D minus. We're going to move on to the next one. This one right here. Lex fans, I don't care if you don't like what I have to say. You should know this by now. But she is this low because what else has she done besides fight? And when I say fight, that's probably her fighting skills and her face is the only good things I can say. She's a very pretty girl. She can fight, but she brings nothing to the table either. She's boring. Like, just keep it real. She's boring. If she ain't talking about somebody like Jayla, well, that's the only one she really likes to talk about. But if she ain't talking about Jayla, and if she ain't sitting here being cringy in these confessionals and trying to act like and being a fan the whole time, she serves no purpose either. Like, a lot of these girls serve no purpose. And then for her to come on this show, wanting to pick a fight with Jayla because she felt like Jayla was a bully, and then to sit and watch Roelly bully Slim, sit and watch Summer bully Slim, and say nothing. That's why you always go all the way down. You get a D minus because you don't stand on business. You came on this show claiming that you about being against bullies. That's that fake activism stuff. Like, you came on the show picking with Jayla because you want to be friends with her, and then not only that, you're half black, half Mexican, which means you're half Latina, which then means Gretchen is, I guess you feel like you have to come and defend the Latinas, considering the fact that Gretchen felt so comfortable and felt like she should be able to say the N-word. That, I feel like you probably feel like she should too, which you said yourself, which is what solidified me not liking her. But yeah, Lex is a D minus. Simply put, you already know. Same with Dolly. Dolly, I feel like Dolly could be a lot higher if Dolly was not starting all these issues that she has. And then not only that, making other people's issues her issues. And then ends up fighting certain people. And then wants to whine and complain about how injured she is. If you decide that you want to go fight, I don't want to hear you whining about your hand. Especially when you have two people that you should have fought already. That you have not fought yet, but you're so quick to jump up to fight Paula. You won't fight Tsiki. A lot of people are going to say because Tsiki's hand is broken or because they said that they weren't going to fight it. It don't matter. If you quick to jump up on Paula, you should be quick to jump up on her. Because you didn't get your fair one with Tsiki because you had liquor in your eyes. Which brings me to my next point. You should have been unpopped on Tinker. You should have bombed on her because she threw liquor in your eye in a situation that had nothing to do with her. And you did nothing about it. Granted, people are going to say, well, her and Tinker talked about it. I don't care. You can't talk to me about shit. You can talk with these hands. That's what you can do. But if you throw liquor in my eyes and then I end up getting hit in my face by somebody else because of it, absolutely not. You got to run me that. That's why it's a D minus for Dolly. Y'all probably like, why is she so high? Because the others deserve to be lower. She didn't do anything at all. She was without a doubt the most useless person on the show. But Yoshi had not done anything wrong, per se. Yes, she, at the beginning, was jumping in to want to have an issue with Summer at the beginning and ended up getting beat by her. But Yoshi was unproblematic. Like, she did nothing wrong. She didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth. She was just boring, which is why she gets a D. Because she could have gotten an F for just being boring, but she seems like a decent human being. She's a pretty girl. Apparently, she is Lil Durk's cousin, sister, whatever. You always get tens there because Lil Durk is one of my favorite rappers. So shout out to her. She got off the show, though. She got off the show before it got extra, extra toxic. And good on her. That's why she's higher than the rest of them. But we'll move on to the next. Scotty. Scotty gets a D because Scotty does the same thing every single season. She's a pretty girl. She got a nice body. She does look good. Sometimes she serves looks. Sometimes the face, the makeup. Sometimes it gives. Sometimes it doesn't. Like, well, we saw is this one? I think this might be one of the confessionals from Sunday. But sometimes her skin complexion does not match the makeup that she has on her face. But other than that, Scotty claims to be this nice girl. But as we see and saw on Sunday, she's not necessarily that. Because if she was, she would have never let what went down happen. But Scotty brings nothing to the table as normal. She's just there. She talks. She twerks. She got her ass cheeks out. And she serves her purpose with the CEO. And that's all I'm going to say there. But we'll move on. Tinkerbella. She is next with a C minus. I would debated putting her this high, but I felt like it was a perfect fit here. Because granted, she's in here also doing too much, doing the most, trying her best to get a moment. She, I guess, had better fighting skills this season because for the most part, she at least threw punches. So that's what got her a couple points for me. Because she at least can seemingly throw a punch this time without just bum rushing. But she's annoying. She's looked better this season physically. You already know from last season, she had some very interesting moments on the show with her bare face, with multiple different skin complexions at one time, which was wild to me. But not a fan of her. I liked her whenever the auditions happened, but after that, it went downhill from there. And yeah, she starts too many issues. Like, she's just fainting for a reason, and she ends up apparently, what we're going to see on Sunday, starting another issue that has nothing to do with her and ends up paying for it. But we'll end up seeing it later on. But we'll move on to the next. Natalie Nunn. She is in the C- category as well. Natalie is messy. She is entertaining. There's one thing that you will always say about her, whether you like her or not, you still watching her shit. Which means she is entertaining to some degree. She's bringing your attention. The issue that I have with Natalie, I don't want to say she's not bringing anything to the table, because she's starting shit. She's being messy, she's starting shit. She's the reason a lot of this stuff is going on. But the whole, y'all can't hit me, it's in my contract, you can't hit me, that's whack. Get your ass off the show, because if you sit here being messy and you're starting shit that's starting fights, if somebody wants to hit you, they should be able to hit you. But that's the difference between a lot of these girls and me. I don't care what's in a contract. If you started some shit and I want to fight you, I'm going to hit you. Period, point blank. And if you want to send me home for it, that's what you got to do. If you're going to dock my check, that's what you got to do. If I really want to hit you that bad and I have an issue that bad, I don't give a fuck what is in what contract. You catching these hands, and it's that simple. But Natalie, she's at the point now, she is 40 years old. So I guess her not getting hit and choosing to not get hit, it makes sense. But you need to get off the show. Just get behind the camera. Just do the producing that you're doing, but just do it off the show. But Natalie will never do that, because Natalie loves being on TV. Natalie loves being the center of attention. So that's why she's on the show. She'll probably be on the show until she's 80 years old. But we'll move on. Anna Mac. I was like, why is she this high? But I guess she's more tolerable than the rest. Anna is not really bringing too much to the table either. Like, a lot of these women are not bringing much to the table until we get to the end. But she gets a C- for me. Anna is running her mouth. She's saying some truth. She's saying some incorrect things. But for the most part, she's saying a lot of true stuff. Like, what she be saying about Lex is true. Y'all don't want to hear it because y'all don't like Anna. I don't like Anna either, but when she's right, she's right. I should have gotten her a little bit lower. That minus came from the jumping, the punk shit. Like, if you gonna hit somebody, ask for it fair and ask for a heads up. That jumping on Nunu, whack. She handled Summer the way she was supposed to handle a one-on-one. But I think that's all I got for her. Not much. Jayla is at a C. She's at a C because Jayla has been chill, which is not a bad thing. But when it comes to the show, when you think about who's really been a focal point in the show, apart from the beginning episodes, Jayla's been kind of playing the background, which is not a bad thing because she's not doing too much. But when it comes to this show, you got to be, I don't want to say you got to do too much, but you got to at least be present. Granted, she is present. I always notice her because she does have commentary, and when she does make commentary, it's sensible. But Jayla's not, she's not, and then not only that too, the C is the fighting. The fighting skills are not fighting anymore. Apart from that summer fight, Jayla disappointed me so far this season with her fights, which is why she's at a C. But she's always beautiful. Jayla, and then not only that too, the reason why she got a C here too is her reasoning behind what she said with Slim on Sunday's episode. Like, sitting there saying, this is your experience. Jayla, you've had 2 bad experiences on 2 different shows that you've been on. Bear Girls Club, you had a horrible experience. Considering the fact that the majority, I think all of the clothes that you brought to the show got damaged. Granted, you won the lawsuit, but all your clothes got damaged, and then that same night they kicked you out of the show and kept the bitches on the show that damaged your shit, pissed on your shit, threw all types of condiments and stuff, like just damaged your shit. And they sent you home and not them bitches. And then next season, not the next season, but Caribbean, you rightfully come on that show standing on business behind that N-word. And then you get a hate train by your own people online in defense of a white bitch who does not respect you or our culture. And when I say our, black people, our culture. And she gets put on some pedestal like she's some queen. And your own people turning against you. So that's another bad experience. And then you end up getting your tooth yanked out at the reunion, getting a chunks took out of your damn chest. So it's like, if anybody should have had Slim's back in that situation, it should have been you. If anybody should have spoke up and said, like, stop, it should have been you. So for you to not do that, that's why you at a C. I was disappointed in Jayla. But we'll move on. Slim gets a C. Slim gets a C because towards the end she did try to defend herself, but she's still the crying and shit. I wanted to repair my relationship with my friends. They're not your friends, Slim. They're not your friends. And she really got a C too, because you should have never accepted that position. The minute they said you gotta be my assistant to be here, you should have packed your shit and went home. If you would have did that, you would have got an A+ from me. But that's where you fall. Jasmine, we moving into my top 5 now. Jasmine, y'all hate her. I ain't gonna say y'all, because some of y'all think like me. But those of y'all that find her boring, whatever. Those of y'all that don't like her, whatever. Jasmine is a baddie personified. She's pretty. She know how to put that shit on. She got her own motion. She got her own money. She is funny. And if she's tried, she will handle her business. That is a baddie to me. She gets a B for that matter. Like, period. Like, she's one of my favorites this season, without a doubt. I didn't like how she stood by and let the shit happen with Slim. But apart from that, Jasmine has been solid for me this season. We'll move on. Diamond the Body. Diamond is entertainment. She never fails to deliver when it comes to that. She will run her mouth. She will she will be entertaining. Like, there's not really much to say. Diamond is a pretty girl. She got her own money. She got her own motion. She's got good music. That Basic song, it kind of went viral on TikTok. And I've been listening to it the last couple days. Like, Diamond got some music. Diamond is a baddie. And that's why she get a B+ from me. This next one, I think this is the next one. I think it's the next one that I'm about to talk about. It's probably going to shock so many people. And it shocked me. Yep, it is. Ivory. This girl got an A from me. Let me explain. I, like many people, was not a fan of this girl. I still am not a fan of her. I can't 100% say I like her. I can't, considering the fact that she threw piss on Mel. Like, and in the way she was acting on that other show, it's like I can't forget that. But the reason why she gets an A from me is because I want to give her grace on this show, because I want to believe, from watching what I've seen, that she is growing. Because when you sit and think about how she came on this show, she still was kind of like on that same Ivory, now that's TV energy when she first got on the show. The first 2 or 3, maybe 4 episodes, I was like, yeah, she's still the same girl. I don't like her. But the change within her character, the way she hasn't been just hitting people like we know she would and could, just hitting people for no reason. She's played the background. She's been one of the voices, shockingly, that stands against bullying on this show. She has shown herself in a different light on this show. And I feel like that's what she wanted to do. And I feel like she succeeded with that. I feel like out of everybody this season, the one person who has had true character development is her. And that's what you want to see on a show. You want to see somebody go from certain phases throughout the show of growth. And I want to believe that that is true, and I want to believe that it's genuine. We'll see. But right now, going into episode, I think 17 or 18, that's where I stand with Ivory. Ivory has had a pretty good season for me. Like I said, the last couple, not the last couple, probably since episode maybe 7, 8, she has been one of my favorites this season, and I will say that. We'll move on. Nunu. She's only been here, 4 or 5 episodes? She ain't made a step that has been wrong. Nunu has been 100%. She stands on business. She ain't lost a fight. She done got jumped 3 or 4 times and didn't lose not one round. She beat Biggie's ass. She beat Anna's ass. She been in the confessionals, giving good energy, natural confessionals. She's easy to watch. She's funny. She's pretty. That's Tiana Taylor Jr., if you ask me. She ain't mentioned Antonio Brown. Y'all noticed that? She only mentioned it in that intro confessional, and I think she did it to be funny because she ain't mentioned him at all this season, and that was one of my main issues with her last season. So shout out to Nunu, and then Nunu was the only person last in the episode that defended and came to Gretchen's defense and at least used her voice to kind of de-escalate the situation when she checked Summer for doing that sneaking shit. So Nunu is top 2 for me this season, easily. Well, she's top 3 right now, but we'll get to it. This one right here, she, like Ivory, has had character development. I was not a fan of her coming into the season because she definitely was trying to start shit. How she jumped into that shit with Summer. How she wanted to fight Diamond because Diamond looked at her wrong. But the difference is, too, when you think about it, she stands on business. Even though she had a petty reason to want to fight, she got out there every single time. And y'all know how excited she gets by the way that she pumps and sets up her set when she's ready to fight. She gets super excited. That tongue comes out. She starts bouncing while she's throwing up her set. And she get out there. Paula will get out there. She ain't really got her ass beat yet. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it. And she's funny. She has, when I say character development, also development throughout the show. She's figured out her looks. The pretty in Paula is showing now. Like she's without a doubt one of my favorites. Like Nunu, her confessionals are easy to watch. Her energy is very just loud, but you can tell it's not forced. You can tell that's just her natural energy. And she's just good vibes. Like she ain't been doing much either. Like the only time she'll get in there and get in the field is when it's brought to her. She just ain't no punk. And she's without a doubt, out of the ones that are on the show right now, she is the one that is my absolute favorite right now, without a doubt. But we gonna wrap it with the queen. Ain't nobody getting no higher score than this one right here, and she ain't even got here yet. We already know next week is about to be all about Tommy Lee, Atasha Jefferson, and that pow pow. And she came in at the right time. She always do. She always creates an entrance that you're gonna always remember. Always. And that outro that she had on Baddies West, like, let's be for real. She is a baddie personified. She stand on business. She's beautiful. She put that shit on. If anybody put that shit on and knows how to dress, it is this woman right here. She don't play no games. She ain't fake. She ain't about that TV shit. She, like I said, when it comes to that contract with Natalie, she would be the one to hit Natalie, not caring if there's a contract there because she's real. She is a baddie. And coming in to do what she's doing on Sunday, I can't wait to watch it. Because guess what? Karma is a bitch. And it's coming in the form of Tommy Lee. And shout out to Tommy. But yeah, y'all. That is my recap. Not my recap. That's my analysis, my report card for this cast. Y'all let me know what y'all's thoughts are on the grades. Y'all let me know what y'all's thoughts are and how y'all would grade them. So y'all drop that down below as well. Like I said, if you haven't already, please thumbs up the video. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you are new. Please do that. Go check out the podcast from last night if you haven't already. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.